Alright, hello YouTube. My name is Freeman Achi and I want to welcome you back to another episode of Hard Talk. If you're just joining in, I encourage you to subscribe and do all of those fun things that you do because this is a series. I don't know, it's called Hard Talk for a reason because here we engage in conversations that are not comfortable. And so, just for this series is centered on the male. And like we said in the previous episode, the reason why it is centered on the male for now, it's because before there was ever going to be a family, there was you, first of all. And then you decided you wanted to start a family. You decided you knew you couldn't do that alone. You brought somebody into your life to begin that journey. And now, why that is very, very important is because everything that happens in that journey or everything that happens in the process of that journey, the male is supposed to be blamed because the partner was somebody you chose for yourself. And so, as important as that is, you realize that most of the issues that relationships encounter, sometimes some of the red flags that goes on to affect how the whole relationship, the whole relationship goes. Some of those red flags are things that should have been avoided or could have been dealt with during courtship. And so it is very, very critical. That is why we are focusing on the male. In the previous episode, one of the areas we talked about, one of the red flags we discussed extensively on was the area of respect. How that respect begins to gravitate downwards when things are no longer being when you are no longer doing the things that you used to do for her anymore. It's a very, very interesting one, and I'd like you to go and see.
Now, like I said, okay, so how do you handle matters of infidelity when you're confronted with it? Now, when you are confronted with matters of infidelity from your female partner, I'm going to say this off the hook. It might be important to forgive them, but let them go, even if they offer explanations like, I don't know what came over me, it is the work of the devil, it is a mistake, I'm not going to do it again. Bro, even if they do that, forgive them, but let them go. Now, I'll tell you why. The reason is it is difficult for a woman to engage in casual sex without having emotional attachment after. When it comes to sex, women often develop emotional connection with the person involved, and especially when the sex is good. So, in fact, studies have shown that sexual intimacy can lead to emotional attachment due to several factors. One of those factors is the release of oxytocin. Now, this oxytocin is always referred to as the bonding hormone. It is how people bond together and during lovemaking. Now, this oxytocin promotes feelings of trust and connection and attachment. It always releases more substantially in women than in men. Now, additionally, women's societal and cultural conditioning can also contribute, to the development of emotional attachment. Now, I don't know if you understand that. Now, what that means is after sexual encounters, because the society see almost nothing wrong. Most of the time, the society see almost nothing wrong with it anymore. You hear things like a woman needs vows and they should not be blamed for the way they are created. Such women displays lack of self-control, and it's dangerous to bring that kind of a woman into your life, into a journey that is as important as who you want to spend the rest of your life with, because they begin to develop, after that encounter, they begin to develop this strong desire to want to explore. That is why a lot of relationships have crashed off of one night stand, because now you are no longer enough for them enough for them, and if these emotions are not properly handled or managed, they can potentially lead to undesirable outcomes, and you don't want that at all. I can go a long way to tell you about those undesirable outcomes. Now, because she is in this space where she will do anything to maintain or service that happiness, so she begins to, rob Peter to pay Paul. What that means is, if you're rich, she begins to steal your money to give to her side dude. Before you know it, they're planning life together. And by that time, it's already too late, because, bro, women are so good at keeping stuff like this away from their partner. You will never know. You will never know. And someone says that in relationship that women are the most are the most unfaithful in relationship, because they can do it and come back and behave like nothing happened. You will never suspect that something happened. Bro, that is true. That is true, because women are very, very deep. Now, while they are planning life together, all of these things can be happening without you knowing it. This is why you wake up years after years of being with them. One day you wake up to find out that you're not the father of her children. By then it's already too late. Another important reason to let go is the significant shift in perspective that occurs after that encounter. It becomes difficult for you to see her in the same light. If we're being honest with ourselves, you no longer see her as that special person anymore. You will agree with me that your love for them becomes tainted by doubt, and it is no longer unconditional. Even the smallest provocation or reminder of the past event can trigger intrusive thoughts, causing you to imagine worst case scenarios and question how they became involved, with someone else. Now, this change in perspective can create turmoil and hinder your ability to move forward. By letting go, you give yourself the opportunity to regain clarity and rebuild a healthier mindset. Now, I mentioned that you forgive them and let go because you'll be deceiving yourself. You'll be deceiving yourself thinking the love will be as it used to be or better. That is a lie we tell ourselves sometimes, because one of the reasons I find that some guys don't like to let go when they find out their partner has cheated on them. One of the reasons, most of the time, is when they are going out with quote unquote a baddie. You think because she's very beautiful, she has all of the assets and all of that. In fact, she has apologized to me. You just find a reason to keep her. You feel you cannot let go and all of that. All of those superficial things like looks, curves, and all of that. First of all, your criteria of beauty is already a problem. It's already a problem at this point, and she is no good for you. And it's difficult for you to see that she's no good for you, because you think because she's that beautiful, if she leaves, you cannot find somebody that's amazing as her. You cannot find somebody that is as good as her. You cannot find somebody that is as beautiful as her. So you decided to take the risk. Now, I'll tell you one of the dangers. One of the dangers of proceeding with that kind of relationship, even if down the line in that relationship you feel this kind of thing didn't happen or it's never going to happen again, bro, the fact that you forgave her and she still remained in that relationship, you only made her smarter. You only made her smarter, because the way you caught her the first time, she'll make sure you never catch her like that again. In fact, studies have shown that the moment you catch a woman once for cheating on you, you will never catch them again. It is not because they stopped cheating. No, they did not stop cheating. They only became smarter, and they only became far, far more smarter in the whole thing. And so what that means is women are naturally good, like I said, women are naturally good at keeping this kind of secret away from their partners, because when they've done something, and okay, take for instance, maybe you called her at night, and she's in a place where she cannot answer your call. Maybe she's in a club, or maybe she has gone out with somebody else, and she's in a place where she cannot answer your call, and she cannot take your call. She's not going to take that call. And then afterwards, after she's done with whatever she's doing, she can answer the call later, and then she's going to answer that call as if she's not feeling fine. Now, by the time she answers that call as if she's not feeling fine, you cannot even bombard her with the question you want to bombard her anymore, because naturally it will look as if you're not understanding. And so in most cases, you're going to leave the question you're supposed to ask her, and then you'll start asking her, why are you sounding like this? Are you okay? And then she'll tell you stuff like, I've not been feeling fine. I don't know what is wrong with me. My phone battery died. You see how the conversation begins to change. Now the mood already is changed, or is changed. You can no longer ask her, why didn't you take the call the other night I was calling you? No matter how angry you are, no matter how much you wanted to vex that anger, by the time she takes the call and begins to sound this way, it is difficult for you to confront her anymore with that reality, or with that question you wanted to ask her. And so she just got you right there. She just got you right there on the spot, and you can no longer ask her. And meanwhile, she has had the best night of her life with somebody else, and she's just coming back. Probably she's recovering from a hangover of what happened last night, and you are just a victim that is just going to take her in, pet her, because it's natural for you to be nice with her. In fact, some of them can even go as far as turning the table around. If you still insist on asking them, some of them will go as far as turning the table around and tell you, you are very, very heartless. How can you call me and you hear me sound the way I'm sounding? You cannot ask me why I'm sounding this way. You are there talking what I don't know. They will be so angry, and then they will switch off the phone on you. You will begin to feel bad within yourself. Sometimes you are even the one that will pick up the phone and you call her and you start apologizing to her. You see how easy it is for them to, do all of these things and still be under the same roof with you without you knowing it. And so for the very first time you found out that she has done this thing, or she has cheated on you, then from the very first day you found out, no matter how much she apologized, bro, forgive them, but still let them go. Because by continuing to be in that relationship, sir, you are going to put yourself in a very tough place and in a very tough situation. Because sometimes it is difficult for you to even satisfy her anymore in bed. Because right now there is this, because of the series of sex she's having from different people, the experiences she's having from different people, it's difficult to, satisfy such people. And so they keep going out to get the extra that you're not giving them. It is difficult for such kind of people to be contented in the relationship anymore, because she will start going out to get the things you cannot give them. Sometimes it's not just about the material thing. They'll tell you, you don't put in the work anymore. They'll tell you, you don't spend time with me anymore. When you hear them start complaining and telling you things like that, there is a problem. First of all, don't allow any woman tell you things like, you don't spend time with me anymore, or you don't talk to me anymore. Because, bro, if you stay in that house and you talk to her all the time, and both of you do I love you all the time, and you keep looking at her in the face all the time, guy, hungry go kill you now for that house. Because a wise woman knows that in order for the man to provide for her, take care of her, and make sure she never lacks, that means that the man cannot be in the house all the time. That means that the man cannot call you all the time. That means that the man cannot answer your phone all the time. The man is busy trying to make life better for you. The man is busy trying to hustle to come back so that he does not come back home empty-handed. That is something a wise woman knows. And so what the wise woman does is, when you have that kind of man that is giving you the kind of life that you need, the best thing you can do for them is to support that man emotionally. Make sure that what the man is thinking about is not you. You are not the problem the man is thinking about. When the man comes back, you think of how you can make his life better. That is what a wise woman knows. It's not going out there to try to, get what the man is not giving to you. No. When you sit down at home, what a wise woman should do is that when she sits back at home, when she's at home all by herself and the man is not there, she thinks of ways that she can make the home comfortable, a place where the man wants to come back and rest. And I tell you, sir, that cannot happen with this kind of, with this kind of loose women that we are dealing with today. It cannot happen with an unfaithful woman, because at every opportunity she gets, she goes back to her lover, she goes back to that place, she goes back to that area where she has been exposed to, she goes back to that thing that she desires, because all of these things, all these desires is just like drug. It is hard to, stay away from them once they have been introduced to them. And most importantly, when she has found a way of doing it without being caught. Once she's found a way of doing it without being caught, she might take advantage of the fact that you're not always around. She might take advantage of the fact that you're not always answering her call. She might take advantage of the fact that your work takes you out. And you cannot always, you don't have time to come and be checkmating her. She might take advantage of all of those facts. Now, the reason I mentioned that you let go once it has to do with something as marriage, that you don't bring this kind of people into their life, because chances are, if you continue this life with them, if you marry them and continue this journey with them, they are going to get pregnant outside and bring the baby into the house, and you will be the one to take care of that baby. We've had a series of issues where after years of getting married with them, the man wakes up one morning and decides to do a DNA test and find out that these children are not his children. Or something happened down the line and, they have misunderstanding with their partner. She got so angry and decided that she's going to leave. And she's living with the children. You ask them, where are you going with my children? She looked at you and said, who told you now your children be this? These are not your children. All of these things can happen. All of these things are possible outcomes. And so the reason you're letting them go is not because you cannot stay under the same roof with this kind of woman or this kind of cheating partner, but don't bring them to something that is more important, that is as important as marriage. Don't bring them in, because the life that they have been exposed to right now, when time comes, it's going to come to a level where they don't want to hide anymore. They don't want to keep it a secret anymore. In fact, it's going to get to the level where if they stay in the relationship and find out that you are no longer providing for them the way that you used to provide for them, you are no longer meeting up to their needs anymore, one day they'll just get up and decide that they are going to leave. Nothing is sacred for them anymore. Because that thing that was supposed to be sacred, that bond between husband and wife, that sex, that area of your relationship that was supposed to be sacred between you and your husband, is something that she has shared to everybody. It's nothing anymore to her. And so it's easy for her to up and leave. So, sir, you want to be very, very careful not to bring this kind of woman into your life, into marriage, into a long-lasting relationship as important as marriage. Please and please, you don't want to bring them into your life. You don't want to bring them into marriage. You don't want to take them into this whole journey of marriage. So forgive them at the early stage of courtship that you found out that this thing has happened. Forgive them, but let them go. Seriously. You don't make them no go carry one disease where Sabi can't give you for nothing. Just let them go. You don't need that kind of woman in your life anymore. Now, I mentioned that you let them go and not have anything to do with them anymore is because I say this all the time. The last thing you want to do is to be with a woman in your life that feels like they are doing you a favor. And secondly, you don't want to give her the impression that she can always eat her cake and have it. You know, by the time you let her go, and finally maybe she feels she already has something to go back to, maybe that relationship or maybe the person she cheated on, only to find out that things were not as rosy as she thought it was. Because right now when she goes back to that guy, she feels like she have made this sacrifice. Those are the kind of people they are. When they go back to the other guy, when you reject them and they go back to the guy that they were cheating on, they will tell the guy, I finally left him for you. They might not tell the guy that he found out about us and our relationship ended. The guy will just stay there one day and see them with their back. What happened now? Please, I can no longer stay with that guy anymore, and they'll move in with the guy. The guy will allow her to come in, because they will never tell the guy that, most times they will not tell the guy that, he found out I was going out with you. That was why the whole thing ended. Sometimes even if they tell the guy that he found out about us, and he pushed me out of the house, or he sent me away when he found out about us, they'll make it look as if they sacrificed their relationship to come and be with that guy. Now her expectations are very, very high in the things that he wants the guy to do for her. He wants the guy to treat her a certain kind of way, because she feels she has sacrificed her relationship where she has sacrificed a lot to be with this guy. And man, it is not even possible, most of the time it's not possible for that guy to even want to take you seriously, because you were already dating somebody else, and you were also coming to the side. You already had me as a side dude. What are the possibilities that if I decide to do this thing long term with you, that you're not going to do the same thing with me too? And so it becomes a problem. So what am I trying to say? By the time you allow them, by the time you forgive them and you let them go, if they go back to the other relationship and something happened in the other relationship and they are left without, the next relationship that they will enter, the next relationship that she will have, you make her a better person. It is very, very dangerous to still stay with them when you have found out about this during courtship or during relationship, and still continue in that relationship with them, because it will not be the first time that they have done that. And like I said, you're only making her smarter. So you want to avoid that. And so the next relationship she enters into, even if what she's getting from that relationship, like I mentioned in my previous video, if she gets into another relationship, even if she's not getting like up to 100% of what you used to do for her and how you used to care for her, if she's able to get 30 and able to get 40, bro, she will not take it for granted, and she will handle that relationship. She will care for that relationship. She will protect that relationship with everything she has, knowing fully well what happened in the previous relationship and how she lost. So this next relationship, she's going to guard it. She's going to guard against anything that is going to make that relationship not to work. She's going to guard against it. She will never have this experience. She will never come to this decision if you didn't leave her, or if you didn't send her out of your life. Now, I mentioned that you forgive them and let them go, because like I said, you'll be deceiving yourself thinking the love will be as it used to be or better. You see, that's a lie we tell ourselves all the time. It is unwise to think that holding on to someone because of their physical attractiveness or material possession is a valid reason to avoid letting go. Such criteria have no place in unconditional love. Seriously, true love goes beyond external, appearances and material possession. It is about accepting someone for who they are, connecting on a deeper level, and appreciating their true essence and values. That is what true love is. Superficial factors like beauty and material things should never be the foundation of a genuine and lasting relationship. Now, what am I trying to say? All of these things are societal norms, social media misrepresentation of what a good woman should be, a good woman should be. We think a good woman is somebody who have assets. It is unfortunate that societal norms and social media often promote, superficial qualities as the basis for a meaningful relationship. In reality, true connections should be, like I said, true connections should be built on deeper values, emotional compatibility. How about respect, like I mentioned in the previous episode? How about shared goals? Any relationship that is built on superficial factors tend to be short-lived, and also it lacks substance. It is important to focus on qualities such as kindness, loyalty, empathy, and shared interest Those are the basis for a long and lasting connection. Looks or material possessions, it may attract attention initially, but it can be easily shaken or even shattered if those things begin to change over time. What really matters is the emotional and intellectual compatibility. You understand? Because she's not going to be that perfect and that curvy forever. All of those things are going to change with time. You understand? So what if those things changes? What will now happen to the relationship, or what will now happen to you? That is one thing you should consider. So if you take the risk of going further, with her after she has cheated, I guarantee you it will not be the only time. Like I said, it will not be the only time she will cheat on you. It will not be the only time. You understand? Because every time you forgive her, you make her smarter. And most importantly, you want to avoid anything, like I said, you want to avoid anything that creates the impression that they are doing you a favor by being in your life. So let us be careful, and let us not be blinded when searching out for a life partner. Let us not be carried away by things that are going to, diminish, in the future. As a leader, one of the things I mentioned in the previous episode, I said one of the characters and characteristics of a good leader, I said a good leader is someone who can take hard decisions. Somebody who can stare at something that looks so beautiful and is strong enough to walk away from that thing. That is one quality that makes you a good leader. So no matter how beautiful she looks, no matter how erotic she is in bed, no matter how bad, how much of a baddie she is, when you look at her straight in the face, and no matter how much you desire, to want her to be the one to be the mother of your children, and how you want to be with her, no matter how much that desire comes, as a good leader, kill it. Kill that desire. Walk away from her. Because a good leader is somebody who thinks long term. Think about it long term. What is going to happen in the long run? Is this the kind of woman I want my children to call mommy? Is this the kind of woman I want to bring into my life? Is this the kind of woman that I want to raise my children? Because whether or not we like it, a woman plays a very important role in the life of her children. A woman, she plays a very important role in the life of her children. It is difficult for a child to see anything wrong with their mother. Most of the problems we have in the society today comes as a result of a mother who was petting the child too much. You pet the child too much until you spoiled the child. Most of the children that are so disciplined in our society today are children that were properly raised by their mother. Mostly disciplinary moms. You understand? Children that are raised with by mothers that are very, very disciplined. They turned out good in the society today. They turned out very, very good. You see them respectful. You see them with good morals. You see them exhibit good character whenever they find themselves. And so that is not the kind of woman that you want to bring into your life, into this kind of journey. Because you're not always going to be around. You're not the one that is always with the children. She is the one that is always with the children. We have heard of issues that happen, the issues of of that happens with children, negative things that happens with children, accidents that happen, with children, just because of careless mom, just because the mom was not always there, just because the woman was always looking for a place to go. You don't need this kind of woman in your life. These are things that you should avoid at these early stages. As you are listening to me right now, most of you are in a relationship where this particular problem is staring right at you in the face. And you think because you guys have made up, because you have forgiven her, or because she has apologized, you guys have moved on, that will be the only time. I guarantee you, bros, that is not the only time she has done that. She has done it over and over and over again, and you didn't know about it. Because when you forgive her, you made her smarter. I guarantee you that. So, sir, wherever you're listening to me from, wherever you're watching from, take this very, very importantly, because this episode is channeled to help you avoid most of these red flags so that you don't bring them up into marriage. These are some of the things that at the long run, like I said in the previous episode, that these are some of the issues that when they are not properly handled or when they are not properly addressed, it goes the long way to destroy your marriage. And so tomorrow you woke up in that marriage and things begins to go south, and and you now look as if you now begin to ask yourself, where is all of this coming from? Why is this happening to me? Why me? Why me? Why me? Bro, sit down right now. And if you're asking yourself that question, why me? Sit down right now. Tell me that one of these things that I have just mentioned did not happen during courtship or did not happen at the early stages of that relationship. Tell me it didn't happen and you overlooked it. Tell me that there was never a time she did this thing to an extreme and you decided to forgive her. Tell me that you have not forgiven her over and over and over and over again over these issues that we just talked about right now. It is your fault. Take responsibility. If the marriage has crashed, move on with your life. Hold your head up high. Tell yourself that this is my fault. Yes, tell yourself that this is my fault. Take responsibility for that thing. Somebody made a post. I saw a post on Instagram one time, and somebody said that if your dog is barking at you, somebody else is feeding it. You know I'm not talking about dogs, right? So every time you notice that things are no longer going the way it used to go in that relationship, bro, something is wrong. Something is wrong. It's not. Stop asking yourself what you're not doing right. Stop asking yourself about what you're not doing right. Sometimes it's not about what you are not doing right. Sometimes it's the kind of life that they have been exposed to. It is the kind of experience that they have been exposed to. That is the problem. So that is it, and I want to thank you guys for watching, and I pray that your relationship is as spicy and is as beautiful as you imagine it. I pray that whatever it is that your relationship is facing, that you'll be strong enough to face it. You'll be strong enough to take the hard decisions and the necessary decisions that you need to take. I pray that God will see you through. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll be sure to see you guys in the next video.